So, this is my manifesting school, my 50 videos. I'm Amy of intuitivecoachingwithamy.com. And Spirit decided that I needed to do 50 videos in a very short amount of time and load them up to YouTube. So this is my manifesting school. So next, I've been podcasting for years. In case you have heard my voice before, I have done over 450 podcasts. You can find them on iTunes and on Blog Talk Radio, Intuitive Coaching with Amy Radio. So let's talk belief, right? So you're manifesting, there's something that you want, and you've probably heard this. If you're a longtime manifester, you have to believe it. And this is something that recently I have been working through myself. Like, I have a very big dream. I have lots of big dreams, actually. But I had a very specific dream. And I was working it. I was taking all the action. I feel like I was tuning into my intuition. And inevitably, something would show up to derail me or interfere with my progress. And so what I came to terms with was that I didn't fully believe I could have what I wanted. And I think our soul self, our higher self, our light self, part of ourself that's connected to the divine, totally believes it. That's why you're pursuing it, right? But our human self doesn't believe it. So how do we get our human self on board? And first, let's deal with why doesn't our human self believe it? Well, the human condition is a challenge, to say the least. It just is. And unfortunately, many of us, our dreams are beat out of us. Teachers, parents, well-meaning people telling us we can't have what we want. And then there's the inevitable failures that'll come up. And I don't think failures are ever truly failures. I think they're always an opportunity to learn and grow and to be more in alignment with what it is that you desire. But if you go through enough of that, it makes it difficult to believe in the really big dreams, So what do you do about that? Well, first and foremost, you got to do some work and uncover why you don't believe it. And recently I was working a goal and I realized, oh, wow, there's some childhood programming that's getting in the way of me believing I could have what I want. While at the same time, there's childhood programming that totally supported that dream. So they were kind of running interference. And so that's why I was able to set out and see results. But the really big, beautiful, bold manifestation of the dream wasn't happening. And it was because of this limiting belief that I couldn't have it. So I had to do the work, and I continue to do the work daily to clear that out. So here's some ways that you can do that work. First and foremost, you got to get clear about who the voice is, because 9 times out of 10, it's not yours. So who told you you couldn't have what you want? And it may not, you may not be able to pinpoint an exact person. It might be a choir of people. I was speaking with a client recently and she was like, it seems like every woman in my life was telling me I couldn't do it. So you've got to identify what that is and separate that from yourself. Say, hey, this is not me. This is what was programmed into my subconscious. And then you have to reprogram. And that reprogramming can be done in a host of ways. The process that I'm going to share with you is what I'm using right now, but depending on the goal, I change it up all the time. So first and foremost, identify what the limiting belief is. Do a ritual where you clear it out. I recommend that my clients write it down on a piece of paper and burn it and say a prayer of release. I release this for my highest and greatest good. I am now free. You can do whatever version of that you want. You can also flush it down the toilet, and that clears the energy. Write it on a piece of toilet paper and say the same prayer. Submerging in water clears the energy. But in addition to that, you need to create a new belief to replace it, because it will come back, right? It will come back if you're not replacing it with something. So what I'd recommend to replace it is affirmations. And I've had a long journey with affirmations, and what I have found to be most effective are affirmations that I write myself. I, in present tense. You can borrow affirmations from other places, but I would encourage you to start adjusting them to meet your specific situation. I was recently working with someone and they were, I was the client, and she said, Amy, that affirmation might not be right for you. So play with the affirmation, play with the affirmation. You'll get a hit, you'll get a trigger where you're like, oh, yeah, that really speaks to my soul right now. Use that affirmation and repeat that to yourself every single day. So I have like 3 pages of affirmations, and they're various versions of the same affirmation regarding the goals that I'm working on right now. I say keep your affirmations when you're working a specific goal, keep them committed to the present moment, meaning back in the day, I would do a lot of Louise Hay affirmations, which are wonderful, but they're general and they can get things going. But I say write very specific affirmations for your particular situation. Now, repeat that daily. Keep it short. If you can memorize it, awesome. If not, just commit to read it every single day and read your goal. Write that in present tense, whatever that may be, and then read the affirmation to go with that goal. And do this every single day. You might want to sprinkle in a little meditation in there. There's a lot of beautiful guided meditations that can directly speak to whatever situation you're looking to manifest. So I wouldn't recommend just a general meditation for this particular work. You might do a meditation early morning, that's your spiritual practice. But if you're working a specific goal, I encourage you to buy or find a affirmation based meditation that can help you with that specific goal. So here's what I mean. So if you Google affirmations for manifesting money, maybe you're looking to increase your income. Listen to that, do your own affirmation, read your goal every day. This will help you start the reprogramming process. There's tons of ways to reprogram, from tapping to hypnosis. Whatever you're drawn to, make the commitment to get in alignment with the belief that you can have what you want. And once you identify what might be causing you not to believe it, know that there might be some other stuff underneath that's attaching to it. Maybe there's some self-worth or some self-confidence issues. Work through those as well. And you will find, this seems like a lot as I'm saying it to you. I'm like, oh gosh, somebody's listening to this thinking, that's a lot of work, Amy. I just want what I want. I know you do. I know you do. But if it were that easy, you would have it already. So just trust the process, do the work, commit to it every day. It won't take nearly as long as you think. And before you know it, you'll have exactly what you want. So until next video, take care of yourself.